What's going on, Rockstar?
Hey, yeah, not yet. I'm Tim, the manager. So, but yeah, Drew's right here. Going to put him on, throw him on with you. So, you guys have at it, man. It's great seeing you. Great hearing from you.
Well, Tim, the manager is just as much a rock star. Without you, there's no direction.
Agreed. Well, I don't know about that. I try to keep him straight.
Dude, what an album. What an album. Hurt turns into hate. I mean, this really is an expression. And did you live this out to bring it forward, or were you just Googling?
Oh, well, if you're just talking about the title name, definitely something I think a lot of us have lived out in the sense of what I was talking about, because it's mainly meant for like relationships where, shit turns, when hurt does turn into hate. But it was basically, the name of it was off of, I had a buddy of mine. We happened to be with each other at the same time. They just broke off an engagement, and she had been telling him to get his stuff out of their then apartment. And he'd been trying to, but she was like, oh, I can't do it now. And then like the next morning, she called and said that like, there's no need to come get your stuff. I've thrown it all away. Oh, and I remember watching his face go from, being severely, disappointed and hurt to like just being purely pissed off. And sorry, there's a dog freaking out in the background. But yeah. And I remember I told him, I was like, yeah, man, that's like when the hurt turns into hate. And, he went on talking, and I remember like, wait, that's lyrics. So I started like typing it down, and I was like trying to type it in my phone the whole time he was sitting there like talking to me about it, because I remember that feeling, I could channel it. And I remember being in the same boat whenever it just finally clicked, instead of being depressed and down about it the whole time. It's like, you know what? Fuck you. Sorry, I don't know if I can say that on here. My apologies.
You're fine.
Yeah. So it's cool though, because you can hear the lyrics come through, man. This is like real world. And I think so many times, so much music is polished up, and we're sitting there and we're struggling for the right word. We're trying to make it rhyme. We're trying to put it in time. But sometimes just telling that story and that life story is a better connection to the listener than just some jumbled up bought mess.
Yeah. I think I work really hard on not doing that. I want everything to, be cohesive instead of it being just random shit thrown behind music, which, I mean, people do well doing that, sometimes, but it's not the way I kind of like to go about it. I like to be, I want everybody to kind of feel the song, like I want to be people to be like, damn, I know I've been there.
It feels more like your music is really for the, I'm going to call it the honest listener, and not the guy chasing that new pop sound, that new pop tune, the same 10 chords we hear in every other rock song. It's like your music. Oh, yeah. It's like your music is real.
We're not those guys. I mean, don't get me wrong, because a lot of that's very successful. It's what a lot of people like. It's just not, my thing for sure. And it's not the rest of the guys aren't like that either. We want something that means something, to everybody. Because, I mean, when you're performing it, and people are getting into it, especially live, that means a lot more, instead of it just being like, oh, something poppy that people can make money off of. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I want to make money too, but hopefully we'll get to that point.
Your drummer, Adam, my God, his hands must move faster than Rush and faster than even, Alex Van Halen, because that God dang, dude, how do you keep that guy going?
He just naturally has that energy. He's he beats the shit out of the drums, dude. He's really quick, man. He's really smart with it too. He definitely does push, a little bit of it. The sad thing is, I know that like not everybody knows this right now, because everything was released, and then Adam's actually taking time away for a little while. But we have a guy that's hopefully is going to be our permanent for now. His name's Kenny. And Kenny has the exact same energy, if not more, and he's more of a metalcore drummer. So the next few things that we end up doing are kind of be a little, hopefully heavier in that kind of sense.
That's cool.
But Adam's a hell of a drummer. He always will be, and good luck to him, whatever he's wanting to do, if he's still chasing the music dream as well. But
That's fantastic,
Yeah,
Drew. And I'm going to echo
something
what
else,
Arrow
man.
said, that those drums are phenomenal. And really the overall sound of this album, just comparing it to your older works, this is polished,
Oh,
man.
God, yeah.
And the energy is high. It begs to be turned up to 11. And we got my son in the car. He's going to, I guess, a school of rock, if you will. And he's like, Dad, I'm going to drum with this. I'm going to get down, because he was digging it.
Oh, please do.
We're totally
Make a
loving
video.
it.
Make a video, man.
Yeah, yeah, and your sound begs also to be viewed live. Like, I would love to see you guys get down. I've seen some YouTube videos, and your fans love you too. I mean, I see people finding you left and right. They're so excited. How's that going for you guys? I mean, you must be loving it.
It's going really well. You know, like you said, the sound difference has changed over the years a lot. And I think with the release of this one, because it took 3 years to fully get all these songs on one.
Wow.
And these, I mean, through, you know, the pandemic and then member changes, apparently we've had a revolving door at drummer for like since this has started. But and now that we're touring, it's a lot harder for people. Like, we lost 2 guitar players to it as well, of like not being able to keep up with that life. And which is understandable. I mean, everybody's got families, everybody's got other things back home, and they're like, well, if we're not making this amount, you know, while we're doing this on the road, you know, we can't really do that. And I mean, there's a lot of even big name bands that aren't exactly just rolling the dough per se. So I mean, it takes a lot of sacrifice from everybody, and you've got to be on the same page to, you know, kind of try to do this. But the shows have been fun. I mean, we have a tour coming up with Texas Hippie Coalition. I think we're a good opening band for those dudes. I think it's going to be a lot of freaking fun, and I'm really excited.
So do you guys by chance have a date anywhere in North Carolina? We're here in Charlotte, so we're just curious if you guys are going to be near us.
Sadly, we do not. There was some, the first leg, I think they were near North Carolina. I can't remember, because we were wanting to be on it too. It didn't work out the way we wanted it to. And, no, but I'll let you know the next time we're in North Carolina. We were in Greensboro. Like,
That's not far.
it's been a minute. We were on tour with Yngwie during that, so that was
Well, you're from Chattanooga, right?
yes, sir.
Absolutely. I was just there a few weeks ago, and we were enjoying, you know, a few sightseeing events. But no, it's not far. 6 hours, 7 hours. We'd come see you.
We'll come to you.
It's not a horrible drive, man.
No, and we were just talking, Arrow and I were talking this morning, man, downtown is super legit. I mean, the park's down there, the river's there, the music scene has gotten better, food is crazy. Chattanooga is, it's on fire right now.
It's a beautiful city. You know, like growing up, like on the outskirts, there was a lot more. It was a lot rougher back then. Like the past decade they have built up a lot, and it's getting a lot better. There's a lot of culture. There's all kinds of different foods, and it's beautiful down here. And I guess we take it for granted because, I mean, you know, we don't go to Rock City or Ruby Falls because, you know, those are touristy things to do. But I've been to both of them multiple times, and they are just gorgeous things to see. And there's so much more too that I'm probably leaving out that I'm probably gonna get smacked in the head for by somebody, I'm sure, at some point.
Let's talk about that song Killing Season. My God, that opening is epic. I mean, that's got to be a show starter for you, or the lights are going to be dimmed and then you're going to build up that light show.
That was somewhat of the plan at the beginning, and that's the weirdest song I think on the EP, because everything else, all the other songs are something that's happened, you know, relatable in life. And that song in particular was brought to us from some friends that did a haunted house in Alabama.
Wow.
And they were like, hey man, we have this, you know, and you guys play like heavy stuff, you know, we kind of want a like theme song. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, what's the name of the place? And they said Corpsewood Hollow. And I was like, oh shit, that's gonna be fun. So like, I remember like talking to the guy, like I had shit going in my head already. I was like, I'm jotting this shit down. I've got it. And we got it done like within 3 days of like getting it, you know, down to what we wanted it to sound like. Then we got it recorded. And the crappy part about it was we didn't get it recorded till like near Christmas. So it's not like, oh yeah, we're gonna release this Halloween-y type song like during Christmas. It's like, I don't think it's gonna. So we held on to it until October, or I guess September was like when we released it. I'm not exactly sure, but they ended up moving their haunted house and changed their name completely.
Oh.
So I was like, God, I'm sure they'll still use it. I haven't talked to the guys either. It's a sad thing. We had so much going on last year around that time, so it's been odd, and again with lineup changes, but it is a fun song. But it's like playing it live if you've never heard it or heard us before, and people are like, "What the hell is this? Like, where did this come from?" It's like, you were just talking about this stuff, and now you're talking about like running from death and like killing people and shit. And I was like, sorry, I didn't mean to.
So you've mentioned a couple times already about lyrics and writing and stuff. Do you write all your own music?
Yes, I write all the lyrics. I mean, we've had people like give ideas and bounced off, but for the lyrical aspect, it's mainly me. I write some guitar parts, just depends. Now that Isaiah's in the band, our lead guitar player, he's the one that wrote a lot of the new stuff of the bouncing riff from like Fly or Fall. He's a big, I guess after the new Limp Bizkit album came out, he's always been a Limp Bizkit fan and loves Westmoreland. So I guess he kind of got inspiration from that. And I wasn't mad about it. I was like, this is way different than what we've been doing. And I kind of enjoy it a lot. So,
and we
his new stuff with No Safe Bet as well. I love it.
We talked about that this morning, man. Your guitar is legit on fire. Just the rhythm, everything you guys have going there. And I even told Norb here this morning, I was like, man, honestly, like everything comes together pretty well. But if this was just audio and there were no lyrics, not beating on the lyrics, but if it was just audio, I could literally play the guitar all freaking day.
You could just sit there and groove to it, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Isaiah's freaking awesome at what he does. Don't tell him I said that. I don't want his head getting any bigger. But he's got something. He's got a different approach to it, and he brings a lot of different things that I've thoroughly enjoyed. And I look forward to writing a lot more with the guy for, I don't know, hopefully another 30 years or so is the plan. And just seeing what else he can come up with, because he's very smart and he thinks differently, because I'm more of the chords guy.
Yeah.
and like getting it down. So he had some interesting stuff to it.
He's definitely effective, Drew. And for me, when I listen to the album, those songs just slip one into the next. Like it. I was talking with Arrow. When you hit an album and you can start play at the beginning and go through, that's what I got from you guys. I mean, it was sweet, and I just repeated it. It really comes together.
Well, thank you, man. That means a lot. We've struggled with that in the past, so I'm glad everything kind of rolls in. And I wanted an album that you can listen to it forwards and backwards and be like, this ain't bad. It kind of rolls together, and at least we're starting to get into that. Hopefully there's a lot more that comes along and we can still do that.
How many speeding tickets did you get when you were putting that song Save Today together?
I got out of a few. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, that song was so weird because, again, it was like 3 years of making that. That was definitely pandemic stuff and just being kind of irritated about everything because everybody's kind of down and, save the day. Don't worry about yesterday, you kind of enjoy it and get those speeding tickets, I guess, if you want to.
So I wonder how we help educate the listeners. A lot of folks don't realize, man, I'm just going to use the term loosely, starving artists. A lot of folks don't realize how much you guys sacrifice, how much you guys commit, how much you guys are picking up gigs, kind of where you can go to try to figure out how to monetize your dream and bring this thing, man. Share some of those battles and struggles, man. I really think that'll hit home with a lot of folks that don't realize you don't just pick up a guitar and become a rock star overnight.
Oh no, you definitely do not. Actually, thank you for asking that question, because a lot of people, if they come to a show and they're like, "Oh yeah, Mr. Rockstar, you guys are making money," it's not like that at all. Like, the only reason why I'm actually in the office today having this conversation is because it was raining today. I work construction. Oh, good. So we got lucky that I'm not actually on the job site zooming you guys on my phone right now, like, having a conversation. We all work day jobs, 40, 60 hours a week, depending on what's going on. Like Isaiah works for FedEx. So, he's got kids also. So like on top of all that, and then trying to make this still happen and then going on the road for a month, there's a lot of grinding to it that a lot of people don't see. They just see the glamour, like, oh yeah, you get to play shows, man, in front of people and like sign autographs and stuff. And it's like, yeah, we do. It's like, buy some merch, like a lot of merch. Buy everything if you can. So
how do we help monetize you? I mean, that's the thing. I mean, we want to support the music, obviously. I mean, what is it we can do to spend money with you to make sure you guys are making a living and able to, you're chasing your dream, man. How do we support that? How do the listeners support that?
We have a website now, sevenstonesofficial.com. We have merch on there. If you want to donate money to the fuel fund, that also helps out a lot. I mean, if you want pictures of Isaiah's feet or something, I'm sure we can work something out. We can figure something out there. That's not my bag, but I mean, you do you, man.
You got to come back to this show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you, Drew.
Well, I'm always here, man. You guys say the word. I'd love to.
Excellent, man. Will you be brilliant today, okay?
You guys too. Y'all stay safe out there, man.